Hey, it's Dr. Tartt, and I want us to talk today about Kanye West and mental illness. I mean, let's keep it real. All right. Kanye West is someone who is acknowledged that he's struggling with mental illness, and many believe it to be bipolar disorder. Right, bipolar disorder, which is a very difficult disorder to treat, right? So, about 3% of the US population has a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. There are actually more, but they have not presented to the mental health system, and they are struggling mightily, probably in their respective communities and in your families. All right. And according to the National Alliance of Mental Illness, 83% of people diagnosed with bipolar disorder or severe. Okay, so this is not a mild diagnosis. This is something that requires expert care, expert attention, often requires medication because of the huge shifts that they experience when it comes to their mood. All right, so bipolar disorder is a mental health condition in which people experience intense mood episodes that can last, days to weeks at a time. So the episodes are like either manic to where you have less need for sleep, all right, or are hypomanic, which is less severe version of manic episode. But these people don't feel like they only sleep. You can feel like you're on top of the world. It's just the opposite of sleep. So your body is like super driven, right? Or it can be a depressed mood to where you feel very low and hopeless and just depressed and irritable and agitated. But it's bipolar because a lot of people cycle up and down. You can cycle down, you can cycle up, you can cycle up and down. All right. For those of you who have experienced bipolar disorder, those of you who have dealt with someone who has bipolar disorder, you're nodding your head right now because you've seen it. Now, we're not talking about the normal mood swing. We're not talking about someone that's irritable or sad. We're talking about people. So think about on your worst day, how your moods affect you. Imagine if that was intensified 5, 10, 15, 20 fold and how that feels. No one wants to feel that level of extreme emotion, right? And what we see is irritability can be a symptom of depression or bipolar, and you see a lot with irritability. So I know y'all sound like, what does this have to do with Kanye West? All right. So when we look at what's going on with Kanye West, all right, this is this is very similar to a lot of men who struggle, if I keep it real, to get help. Not just men, but women. And one of the things I want to remind you of in life, you can either have compound blessings or compound problems. Things don't tend to stay static. Like either our fitness we're getting better and more fit, or we're getting fatter and more out of shape. Either our wealth is building and growing, or it is starting to depreciate, especially with inflation. Either our relationship is trending towards happy times, are it's starting to decay. It's just a year away, right? So we look at the same thing when it comes to our mental health. But what do we do? What do we do? You have a brother like Kanye West, all right, and Kanye West went from having multiple blessings, so starting out, with just music and production, and then sports, and then apparel, cologne, everything that Kanye, sneakers, everything that Kanye is in, multiple blessings, right? Compound blessings. But now, uh, due to his struggles with bipolar disorder and not getting proper treatment for that, now he has compound problems to where he's lost endorsements, and the people associated with him now want to run from and distance themselves from him because they don't want to be associated with hate speech, any anti-Semitism. He's disrespected the Black community, disrespected almost everyone, right? And so I do have a particular heart for this because I've seen people with bipolar disorder a lot just self-destruct. And it's easy for us to blame Kanye, and he should. He has to make amends, and he has to own that when you put out hate speech, you're going to have to deal with the residual effect of that, especially if you do it against the power structure. That's just real. That's real. All right. And I just want to be clear. Having bipolar disorder doesn't mean that you have hate speech. That's on Kanye. That's on Kanye West all by himself. However, when you're in self destruct mode, you're in self destruct mode. And he's self destructed and blown up almost everything, the marriage, access to the kids, now his career, now it's money. He's really spiraling out of control. All right. So, what I want to do right now, so to make this, it's not about gossip. What I want to do is I want to tell you how to help someone who's enabled, who refused to go to treatment. I want to give you 6 things you can do to help them to get treatment because we don't want to be in a situation like Kanye. I hate that for him. I hate that it has to come down to this for him to lose everything or lose a lot, especially things that he cares for, to then be humbled enough to receive treatment or be aware or have self-awareness enough because the world has enabled him, right? A lot of y'all said he was creative genius and that this is because he lost his mom and not realizing, those things are true. He is a creative genius, but he's also very mentally ill and has delusions of grandeur and has bipolar disorder that's out of control and inconsistently treated from if you believe what you hear in the media and he struggles, all right? So let's try to this is not about Kanye. This is about getting help for a loved one. All right. So let's go. Number one. All right. Choose the right time. Pick the right time. Strike when the iron is hot. This would be a great time to talk to Kanye and say, man, is this, if you don't get help now, when would you? Right. All right. Well, when I have to fire, if I have to fire people who were over, who I had at Adidas and they start losing their jobs or people start, canceling concerts because other artists don't want to be associated with anti-Semitic speech and my negative comments about the black community and me supporting Trump tried to overthrow the government. If they just want to be disassociated with all those things, other artists might even get pressure. If they just start doing that, I don't want other people to hurt because of what's going on. I'll go ahead and get help, right? Or if I meet someone. Number two, approach with care versus judgment. Approach with care versus judgment, right? No one wants your judgment. Just say, hey, I care about you. I want you to be healthy and thrive. I don't want you to go through this, Kanye. Man, you spent years getting to this point. In a matter of 3 days, you've lost a lot. And I don't want you to lose more. Right. I just care for you. I just want you to be well. Number three, the carrot and the stick approach. This is one I specialize in. Hey, you don't have to do it. But when you have to tell people that you have to lay them off and it affects their families because of decisions that you make, you're going to have to stand in that. Or you can go and get help from this, recover, and hopefully people can forgive you because we are a forgiving society. And once you treat and handle your bipolar disorder or whatever's going on with you, right? Then hopefully you're able to reunify with your family, be able to have a cordial relationship with the mother of your children, be able to put out quality music and put out love versus hate. You can have one or the other. All right. And number four, overcome objections effectively. All right. Therapy costs too much. Obviously, it's not an issue for Kanye. All right. But it's not going to work. Like, where am I going to go? How can I have privacy? I don't trust therapists. Right. Well, therapists, you don't have to trust because you can sue us if we talk. Right. And no one wants to be sued. So you don't even have to trust. You just have to go in. And what's talking going to do? It's going to help you to get into your right frame of mind. You're going to be able to get the necessary talk therapy combined with the right medications and the right holistic approach and the right life changes so that you can be well. There's a lot that you can gain and a lot that you can lose. Don't let that one thing just say, well, no, keep going. And then and share your own experience, right? My wife and I, she's in this picture. If we argue about something 3 times, we're going into counseling, fam. Bump all that going back and forth. I don't have time for that disharmony, right? So share your own mindset. And then number 6, help with the logistics. All right, get their insurance information. Find out, make the link. If you know a person, link them with someone that you think would be a good fit. Sometimes do the pre work. A lot of people call me like, "Hey, did you help see my brother and sister?" Right? And if you call, will you see them? All right. So do those things so that we can have compound blessings and avoid the compound problems. And let's all pray for Kanye while at the same time having no tolerance for hate speech for anyone. Take care and God bless.